Well, Chief, tell us what do you know is the cause so far of the fire?
Well, because of the state of the building, it's going to be extremely difficult to determine the cause. We have to use the excavator here to open up the building. We believe it started somewhere in the basement, and the basement is obviously under a lot of rubble, so that's difficult to check. But we do have our FIU team and members of the State Fire Marshal's office here, so any chance of getting an investigation going, we're waiting until we can get access. But the first priority is to get the building down into a safe condition that makes it not a hazard to public safety.
Now, the fire started at what time? About
11 o'clock last night.
Okay. And so at this particular time, were there people living in the building? Are there apartments upstairs there?
There were approximately, well, there were 10 apartments upstairs, 6 businesses on the first floor. Okay. We believe that there were 11 adults and 2 children living in the building at the time. Okay. They've been contacted by various agencies such as the Red Cross. A lot of them have gone with family and friends.
Of course, the Hadley School right behind where they did not have school, and it is directly adjacent to the school, so there was no school today. And as of like 3 o'clock this afternoon, it's still smoldering.
That is true, and they're probably not going to have school in the Hadley tomorrow either until we can assess the condition of the air in the building and what have you.
I gotcha. Any other notes about the fire and news notes that we should be aware of?
We were assisted by several communities, Lynn, Salem, Beverly, Peabody, Nahant, Marblehead, here at the scene. We had Revere and Linfield covering at our stations. Everybody worked very hard. We did as good a job as we could, and we don't like to see them come out like this, but everybody worked very hard, and sometimes the building just gets the best of you. Yeah.
And as far as there were no evacuation, it seemed that everything was in order for that last night.
Last night, as far as most everybody had gotten out on their own, but we went in and checked anyway. So we were in doing checks when we discovered that the fire had already gotten up inside the walls and the ceilings up above. So it's an old balloon frame construction building, which just makes it, there's so many hidden areas and what have you for the fire to travel. It just makes it very difficult to get control of these once they go. And plus we had 20-mile-an-hour wind blowing in.
Yeah.
So it makes for a very difficult fight.
And not to keep you too long, Chief, but it is amazing that it's still smoldering here at 3 p.m. It started at 11 p.m. the night before.
Well, we had it, as you heard me speaking to someone else, we had it down to a very small area, but once we opened up and allowed the air to get into the basement area where we couldn't get into before, it just really took hold again, which we were afraid could happen, but it's what does happen sometimes.
And finally, Humphrey Street appears going to be closed for a little while longer here?
We're aiming to get this into a stable situation where we can open Humphrey Street for tomorrow morning's commute.
Good.
That's our